Hi, welcome to another episode of InMobi's Mobile Monday, our thought leadership video series where we discuss about leading brands leveraging mobile. Today, I'm joined by Raghuvesh Sarup, Chief Marketing Officer at Microsoft India. Hi Raghu, great to have you on board.
Thanks, Rajesh. Good to be here.
So let me just dive into this. Now, there is a lot of talk about mobile being the primary screens for consumers out there. But do you think marketers are actually thinking mobile first? What does being mobile first actually mean to you?
So that's a that's a pretty good question, and I think now more than ever, I think most of us have realized, whether we're in marketing or in other functions in the corporate world, that this world is moving to, in some cases, a mobile first, and in other cases, a mobile only world. And when I say mobile first and mobile only, I'm not just talking about the hardware, but I'm also talking about the mobility of the experience. So whether it's a banking experience or a purchasing experience or a entertainment experience, we carry these experiences with us, broken up over time, and don't finish it in one time and place and location the way we did in the past. A banking transaction could begin in the office, continue in the bank, continue on a phone call, and then eventually get concluded on a mobile. So in this way, the world experience satisfaction and delivery is moving to a mobile first world. In many cases, in the consumer world, of course, this is happening at a town tier level. Down the town strata, smaller towns, in segments in B2B like the frontline worker, or the SME at the customer level. But there is one other area where this is also happening, and that is at the top tier customer level. For example, CXOs. I know a lot of colleagues, and I know a lot of heads and leaders of companies who pretty much spend their time from customer to customer or from meeting to meeting, and the only thing they carry with them physically in all these settings is the mobile phone. And therefore, for them, whether it's Power BI or it's Teams or it's a complicated worksheet, all of these have to render simplistically and beautifully on a mobile for them to be able to make the most out of these customer meetings because they're always on the go. So this is not just true of frontline workers and people who don't have a PC. This is now true of people who have a PC but use it actually very little. So I think whichever the segment, whatever the strata, it is. I think we're living in a mobile-first world today, and the numbers are staggering. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people in India alone. And I think for anyone who doesn't get the fact that the world today is more online and more mobile than PC and offline, would have some really hard thinking to do.
Given that you've actually talked a lot about mobile actually catering to a wide array of segments, but probably with a lot more precision. So, what are three nuggets that you would actually like to share on leveraging mobile with your peers?
Maybe one nugget, and I'll take the retail example of location, location, and location. To say personalize, personalize, and personalize. Those are my three personal learnings from leveraging mobile. I think the first nuance in terms of personalization is personalize using insights like location, like in-app behavior. For example, one of our customers is able to enable certain functionalities like voice ordering when they notice successive amount of typos input in the chat box. So if somebody is ordering, say, Kolhapuri chappals, and they type Kolhapuri chappals in different ways, using a C, using a K, using wrong spellings. At some stage, the company realized that, hey, this is just an impediment to ordering because then such orders never actually result in an order. So they activated voice ordering for such customers at that point in time. And now, of course, they know, based on machine learning and AI, which we provide to them, that this is a use case or a customer where voice is preferred to, mobile text input using the keyboard. So I think the first is personalize using such insights. Location is another great insight. We know that you and I, behave very differently with the same app when we're in the workplace and when we're in the car and when we're at home. These are just three, locations that many of us personally go through. And whether you're in transit in a train or a metro or a car can also change the way you interact. So, for example, voice and videos may not work so well in a metro if you don't have your headphones out, and you may want to subtitle the video in that context. And again, that location is available to you. This person has probably bought a used a mobile application to buy the metro ticket in the first place. So there's a lot of in-app behavior and insights like location that you can use to personalize your own app functionalities on the mobile. The second personalization is in terms of content. Now, this is both a medium issue and a customer issue. Medium issue because customers view content very differently on a mobile than a computer screen or a television screen. That is obvious. But they also, in my opinion, they're more engaged on a mobile phone than they are on some of these other screens. Now, given that, what is the creative that we are using for the mobile phone? Is it an adaptation of what we have prepared at a generic level across media? Or is it a mobile only creative? And I think the days are gone when you're creating generic content or advertising and then adapting it to multiple screens so that it
You're
renders
only
well.
seeing just built for mobile.
Yeah, just built for mobile only. I mean, where is the mobile only creative? The second nuance in terms of personalization of content is, are you assuming that you're going to be viewed by all segments of customers at the same time? Or are you tailoring your messages and your content for one person? So if I'm talking to you, Rajesh, and InMobi, am I talking to Rajesh or am I talking to many other such Rajeshes? And I can assure you, and it doesn't take rocket science to tell you that the more the customization and personalization for you, the more you will respond and the more you'll stay engaged. Even if the content is not immediately relevant to you, you will definitely thank the brand for taking that time and customizing the message for you. And then you can even contextualize signals like if there's a Wi-Fi data connection versus a mobile data connection, for example, to play a longer video. And customers are quite willing. And the other assumption that you make here is that when Wi-Fi is on, this person is either in the home or the workplace. Perhaps time is a little more than, say, in the metro when there's a data connection, and then you would want to quickly sort of get to the point. So the third personalization is in terms of automation. Now, we use a lot of lead qualification and scoring at Microsoft to make the messages progressively more accurate on a mobile, given that there's high involvement on a mobile, and also because it is becoming more, I would say, fashionable or trendy to do one thing at a time. This whole the joy of multitasking that came in about 10 years ago, where people said, hey, I can juggle 10 applications on my screen. I think that's beginning to go away, and we have other trends like slow food instead of fast food, and people actually taking a pause instead of just rushing from one place to another. Time matters, quality of experience matters rather than quantity. And I think the same thing is happening to advertising on a mobile, and lead scoring and qualification therefore is becoming a little more engaging, a little more thoughtful, a little more high involvement. So the way you do that on a mobile, again, should be personalized for mobile. It should not just be an adaptation of your lead gen campaign which you're running across other kinds of media.
Thank you. So now, given that you've talked a lot about content, you've talked a lot about data, can you actually share anecdotally, a campaign that you have seen on mobile and that has actually yielded great impact on results?
We are at Microsoft. We have in the past relied across media for our marketing messages. And our media engines vary from events to physical events to virtual events to advertising campaigns on digital, on mobile, on airport advertising and so on. So there's a lot of typically for any company there are a lot of ways that the media pie chart can slice and dice. We are finding the joy and the elegance and the efficiency in being able to run connected consumer journeys. Many customers have run these sort of scattered and diverse customer journeys in the past where you engage the same customer in different engines or in different media touch points, and you're not always sure what the overlap is, and therefore you end up either repeating or even at times not repeating the important messages. and therefore learning less about your customers with an effort that we call phygital advertising. That's my favorite example. For example, we just awarded AI awards to some of our key customers and partners who have incorporated in the banking industry, chatbots that work on AI that come straight to the point, to a customer looking for a loan, as opposed to even a telecaller taking that call or a website. And we recognized a medical customer for being able to create a score that actually does AI on your medical records and is able to create a cardiac score that predicts how healthy your heart will be in the coming weeks and months. And diagnostic healthcare is the future because that's what prevents heart attacks rather than cure them. So in these AI awards, which we did with a media partner, we ran the live event, of course, in the city of Mumbai, but we also live streamed it on mobile using a number of our partners and number of applications. And needless to say, we had, for the top 300 customer CEOs and CIOs who were in that room that evening, we had more than 60,000 views on that day of that entire event. And that was just a start. And now most of our events, our physical events, are going phygital primarily on mobile, because most of our events are evening events, and people are not even there in the workplace to be able to watch them. And how many people actually go home and rig up the whole TV and PC connection just to be able to watch an event live? But on the mobile you do, and if you're in transit, oh wonderful! What better way to spend time in that car or that metro than by learning something new? So that's my current favorite example. But there are many more.
Great to hear from you on InMobi's Mobile Monday. Thanks a lot for being here.